And it was like, damn. But one thing I remember, and I've learned from now that I have my own boat over the years, is that diving for bluefin is, I mean, okay, it's not that hard.
It's not hard.
All up to the boat driver.
It's all up to the boat driver. Well,
yeah.
I would say it's 75%
yeah.
boat setup and then 25% diver.
Yeah,
and the reason why I say 25
too, as far as landing it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, equipment is so important. Like going
people
out there,
go after those things with like 2 and 3 bands, and I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah, you're not gonna penetrate.
My friend
fish.
pulled out an 11-liter raw ballan float. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah. Have the proper equipment is like so important. Unless you're just going there to injure fish and
waste and lose all your gear.
Lose your gear, spend more money, whatever the case may be. Just have the right gear. And there's the bluefin act so differently every day, so there's so many different tactics that you have to know. Driving into these fish, not into them, but setting yourself up for these fish. I mean, it's.
I think I remember reading somewhere they're one of the smarter fish, and I believe it. Every school is different. Every day is different. Every hour within that day can be different too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unbelievable how like when one day you could drive on top of them, jump in and shoot whatever you wanted, or like they just wouldn't get spooked. They were going super slow, just spinning. Or the next day you can't get within 400 yards.
Yeah.
Or you can see they're everywhere, and it's like whack-a-mole, you know? Like, oh, there.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to shut the boat down. Like, so what are some tactics that you guys use to that you know of?
So, like, if you are your own boat driver, I tell this to people all the time. Never be afraid to leave fish and go find other fish. Because if you're going to sit on one school and they're just not cooperating with you, don't spend your whole day on that school. Go find other fish. And that's what we do a lot.
So that's interesting.
Spend 2, maybe 3 times trying to get on a single school, and then after that, we're gone.
So there was always a rule in fishing, right? Never leave fish to find fish.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that, because that's what I always say. Never leave fish to find fish.
Yeah.
But when it comes to diving on bluefin, every school is different.
Yeah.
And if you can't, you're wasting your time.
You're wasting your time. You're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. And then you're just going to push those fish out further and further and further. So it's pointless to stick with those fish and hope that one time they're going to cooperate with you, which most likely will not happen.
When you say cooperate, like what do you mean, like to people that don't know?
Cooperate, I would say, is swim in the direction that you expect them to be and not change a direction or sink out.
Yeah.
So foamers or puddling fish a lot of the time are finicky or in a frenzy eating bait, and they can be easy to get up on. But if you keep driving on the fish and they keep sinking out on you and going in a direction that you have no idea that they're at, stop chasing that fish and go find new fish. If they're not letting you within 100 yards, sending a diver a 100 yard swim 3 times, they're going to be done. Yeah. So it's like pointless to keep doing it. Well, and then once you get there,
I'm out of shape, dude. Like I can't dive. I could dive to 30 feet. Like, oh my God. We were at San Clemente Island 2 weeks ago, and if we were going out there to dive for yellowtail just to go dive. You know, and my friend wanted me to take him out there, and I was like, yeah, I'll take you out there. So we went out there, and we were on Pyramid Reef, probably in like 300 feet of water, 200, 300 feet of water. I mean, we were on like right off the island. And all of a sudden, I was like, I didn't go out there, but I always bring a big setup because you never know. I remember looking out there, and I'm like, is that yellowtail blowing up on the surface? No, that's a 100-pound bluefin, you know? And it was so close to the island, and it was like, you know how it is, like, there's nobody around? Yeah. And I get all giddy. I'm like, there's nobody around, nobody knows. It's ours, it's all ours, you know? And so we finally, like, got all our shit together, and
try to change gears.
Yeah, and you know, and get all ready, and then we start going, and I told my friend, I'm like, okay, trying to give him a real brief thing of like, okay, we're gonna eat. They're on the surface now, so. But the thing is, it's like the tip of the iceberg. So the ones you see on the surface, there's a lot more around there. It's just, you know, you don't see them. So turn the meter on, But then, oh, by the way, the meter can scare them sometimes. I've heard that. Like, I haven't seen it turn. Yeah, because the acoustics, right? I've heard that. Like, when you turn the boat off, and you, like, some
and
people.
You're still running it or something like that.
You might as well just turn the boat off, turn the meter off. If you want to just try to get them when they're blowing up around there, you can try that. You can turn. So anyways, long story short, like, oh, they're over there, like 100 yards from it. I'm like, okay, cool. And my buddy had never done it before. It's like, I'll drive. You guys know what you're doing. I'm like, okay, cool. Just turn the boat off and just chill right here. We're going to go out there and see if we can get one. Because they were like, looked like they were cooperating. They really weren't that skittish, but they were in a frenzy, you know. Of course, what happens? You kick out 100 meters. You're like spy hopping the whole time, trying to see. Yeah. And I was like, where are they? To my buddy, he doesn't know. And he's like, okay, just keep going. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, hey, they're back here at the boat. They're blowing up all around the boat. And those guys, like, disappeared. So then we turn around and kick back to the boat, see, like, the streaks, dive down. Unless I knew they were about 100 pounds. Dive down. And I just saw one of them coming like probably like 20 knots, man, just like a bullet, and did like an L around me, like just gone. Like didn't want any part of it. And I was like, man, I've had, been vortexed by like 200-pound bluefin where they just like circle around you all.
Check you out.
Just mellow. Not these ones. These guys were racing.
Hungry. That's all they want to do is eat.
And they were flying.